Idiots of the internet are people who post, share, like, or comment on obviously stupid and fake stories. The producer of my radio show has given me stories, some real, some fake, to see if I can spot the idiots of the internet. The famous saying, when one door closes, another door opens, is actually a famous quote by Alexander Graham Bell. No, it's not. No, it's not. I mean, if I find out it is, I'm just so sure that no, it's not. It's not. It's from literature. Graham Bell would be something like, "Oh, you see, this is Scottish accent, by the way. I see this Italian fella. He's invented something. I'm gonna say is mind like." I suppose if you're from America, you'll be like, "Yeah, that's a pretty good Scottish accent." I think actually what happened was Marconi said, when one door closes, another door opens, and Graham Bell heard him on the phone and said, "Oh, you know, I'm going to have that for myself." It would have probably first appeared in literature somewhere. I don't know. It's not Shakespeare. Wheneth a dooreth closeth, another door opens, chased by a bear. Exiting stage left. The quote ends with, "But we often look so long and so regretfully upon the closed door that we do not see the ones which open for us." Alexander Graham Bell was an inventor and engineer who is credited with inventing the first telephone. He's credited with it. Okay, at least they slightly hedged their bets with that one. He was credited with it by a few people in Scotland. Was Graham Alexander going around making quotes? No, he wasn't. It does sort of sound almost biblical, but I just think it's a bit later. My guess will be it'll be from something like 18th century literature, 17th century literature, some century of literature. It'll be in a book, but even then, it'll be in a book, and it'll be like this. It was in this novel or something, but it will actually be probably a saying people had said for about 10 years before or something. So no. Director James Cameron purposely made Titanic's runtime 2 hours and 40 minutes because it's the exact amount of time it took for the real ship to sink, and the iceberg scene lasts 37 seconds, mirroring the real event. Except Titanic was famously a 3-hour film, wasn't it? It was 3 hours something. It's Kate Winslet's character as an old lady telling the story. And that's why it was a 3-hour film, because if it'd been the other way around, if it'd been him telling the story instead, it would have been a lot shorter. He would have just said like, "Yeah, you know that Titanic that sank? Yeah, I was on it." Yeah, and while I was on it, I fucked this fat British girl. Great trip. Kate Winslet went through a divorce around this sort of time, just before this sort of time. And what happened was her husband at the time, this is before she married Sam Mendes, he had this kind of illness where he was dying or kind of needed a lot of care. And then she divorced him. And the end of the film, when he's holding on and she's on there, and then she just lets him go and die. Everyone in the cinema was like crying, like, no, why? And I was just watching it going, yep, that's the Kate I know. I'm going to put Alexander Bell in it, and then I'm going to put Origin in afterwards. So this is a quote of Graham Alexander Bell here, where one door closes, another opens for you. So this here is saying that it's true and it really happened. And I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. In Graham Bell's case, the door that opened was the one to the patent office, where he stole the idea for the telephone from Alicia Gray. I thought it was someone called Marconi. So it looks like I'm an idiot on the internet, that Alexander Graham Bell. Did he come up with it, or did he just repeat it? Okay, I'm clinging on to the hope here that I am not an idiot on the internet, and that it actually predates him. And then I'm going to be doing a victory lap of the internet, right? Origin continues the quote. So he didn't come up with the quote. So that's the phrase. So the inventor of the telephone, Bell, is said to have continued the quote by adding, "Most often look so long, so regretfully upon the closed door that we do not see the ones which open for us," which is basically just taking a really good quote and adding something that's not as good on top of it. What is the origin? Come on, Reddit, help me out here. originally in a book. Come on. Yes. Yes. Perseverance here. I think a door's just opened for me. Finally, and perhaps the earliest example comes from Cervantes' famous novel, Don Quixote. Look at this. I was tilting at windmills. And I thought all was lost. This is like the impossible dream here. This is it. The first part of the book was published in 1605. I like it in the old days when books were like published like monthly and stuff. And he wrote, when one door is shut, another is opened. Thank you. 1605. Did I say like 17th century or something? I said not Shakespearean, but I mean, Shakespeare died in 1616. And 1623, the first folio came out. So it could have been Shakespearean, but it wasn't. It was Spanish. So Don Quixote said, I know that's Scouse. Thank you, Don Quixote. When one door shut, another is opened. Let's just check this on the internet, just in case this is wrong. So I can officially announce anyone who blindly believed that Graham Alexander Bell actually came up with an original thought or idea of his own is wrong. He did not invent the phone. He did not invent the saying of when one door closes, another opens. That was a lucky escape for me there. And we're going to the final one, which is Titanic is the same length time it took for the real ship to sink. Oh, it says 2 hours 40. I'm sure it's a 3-hour film. 3 hours 14. Screw you, internet. That's the first thing. So you can't even get that right. Of course he didn't. That's not how editing works. You think he compromised his editing vision for the film just so that it could run the same time as the actual ship? Did James Cameron time Titanic so same as real life? I don't know what that even means as a sentence. It said to take approximately 2 hours and 40 minutes to sink. So what they went is they went with the time it actually took for the boat to sink. But the time that people actually know and will remember, I think, is the length of the film, because we had to sit through the whole thing. Do you know what I mean? By the end, I was like, oh, come on. I wanted both of them to die at the end. It was so long. Come on, Rose, jump in, die. Hurry up. I've got a bus to catch.